Now this stupid stuff going on, and well, anyway, I should start over. Anyway, hello, how you doing? This is George Lawfrey, and welcome to my channel, Finding a Way Through. Now this stuff, I don't know how we're going to find a way through, because what is going on in California over there is causing problems for the whole country. And it's all Gavin Newsom's fault and the activists that are in the California Congress, which are, from what I can tell, all women over 65. From what I can tell. If they're not, they're some kind of weirdo from 60 that are in their 65. So now, what I'm going to do is show you another video. That's not what I wanted, but that's what I got. Okay, I need to switch. I didn't want the photo. I wanted which is fine. Trying to get the video realigned. All lined up, so when I do get ready to show you the video from Fox News about the oil companies leaving California, because it's serious that the oil companies are leaving California, not only just for California, but for everybody that relied on those oil companies in California to supply them with their gasoline and stuff, because even Nevada and Utah, Arizona, Oregon, Washington, then 14 western states are relying on what California's oil was doing, because it's all piped over, and all the diesel and all that stuff you buy in the western states. California screws things up when they start doing policies like this. So everybody should be telling Governor Newsom what to do. Now he wants to defend himself. It's more than possible. We can arrange where we can meet someplace in town. I can set my cameras up, and we could do a live interview in front of a green screen. And he can try to explain himself, but every time he does a speech, he just puts nothing but gibberish out. It's all emotional crap, and he's happy that he's destroyed the state. Hell, from last time I checked a couple weeks ago, I don't even think they've started rebuilding the houses in California down there in LA from the fires. I know it took from the Fresno fires, it took them almost 3 years before they could start rebuilding, because of all the paperwork and the environmental crap and everything else that Gavin Newsom and the feminists wanted them to do. And I think that's what they've been doing down there in California. So now he's pushed so hard that he's got, from what I'm understanding, all the oil companies leaving California. He's got Budweiser left California. He's got 3 or 4 big Amazon warehouses leave California, and all the big businesses, big corporations that make billions of dollars have left California. So he's destroying that state. I've got a video about the oil companies coming up. But he's also chased the billionaires out of California. They're running because they don't want the 3% wealth tax that he's trying to use to balance his budget, because he's got a budget shortfall, and it's just getting bigger and bigger every time somebody leaves. Now that was the first of the month, this month, April 1st or whatever. This is February 1st, and he didn't do anything. And second month of the year, and he was going to tax all these wealthy people, and then they shut down all their businesses around before the tax even gets in there. Then they've been screwing with truck drivers, trying to say owner-operators can't be owner-operators because they're not making enough money. And if you drive into California, you've got to be a company driver. which that's the union down there in Oakland and that area trying to get all the work for themselves down in there. But if you ain't got no over-the-road truck drivers coming in, over-the-road companies coming in to haul stuff out, the unions might as well be non-existent because the port won't be moving containers. Their warehouses will fill up with stuff they can't get out, and it'll become a stagnation over there, and everything will cost more coming out of California. So I would recommend shippers that are not in California that want their stuff, bring it in through a different port, pay the little extra fee to get it transported over to you safely. You might get it in the container, but like California switches stuff from the containers to regular trailers, makes it easier to unload. But you'll be doing the United States a service if you don't bring it through the ports in California. But anyway, let's go ahead and put this video up and let's listen to what the news has, Fox News, Business News has to say about the state of California and these businesses leaving. And it's like Chevron and Valero and a couple other big ones, the biggest ones, the ones that run the refineries. So let's go ahead and go on that. 3, 2, 1, video.
Taxes and programs to push us out of the state.
California has spent years, really decades,
going
after the fossil fuel business in the name of environmentalism, and it's a lie. Saying it was planning the state a clean energy future,
right?
It was all a con. The result, refinery closures. That's in the last 30 some odd years. An industry exodus, and of course, skyrocketing prices.
Right.
Now the chickens are coming home to roost, and we're here to watch it all and report on it. Gavin Newsom's state is having a sudden change of heart. The pompadour of pomposity himself just signed a bill to fast-track approvals for 2,000 new oil and gas wells annually. This is near Bakersfield, California, Kern County, trying to keep energy companies from fleeing California. It may be too little too late. And Newsom, and frankly, all the people in California who voted for him and all the other Democrats, they are getting what they deserve and what they voted for. Mike, to you on this, I mean, you have relatives who are in politics out there. What has happened? Gavin Newsom sued the big oil companies, but California has to import half of the crude that it's still able to refine in the state from places like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Brazil. And the CO2 emissions, the smog and pollution from the tankers that have to ship it in has caused emissions to go up and pollution to go up. So it's actually damaging human health in California because they've tried to phase out fossil fuels.
Yeah, so my dad lived in California for a long time, and he used to say, like, the crazy people in this country just keep moving west, and like it just stops in California because they'll fall in the ocean if they keep going any further. And like there couldn't be a truer statement in the world. And these politicians, they don't govern for results. They don't say, hey, what's worked really well in the past, and let's try to make it work really well here. In California, it's I need to govern for a narrative. I need there to be anything shoplifted under $1,000.
Well, there's the companies that moved out.
We don't need cash bail. Okay, we don't need to arrest criminals. We want this green utopia. And like what happens with that is you go from 2%. You start at 13% of the U.S. oil production in the U.S. Now we're down to 2%. Okay, it's still close to between 5 and 10% of their overall revenue for California comes from the energy industry. It is an unbelievable state. It is one of the most, if they not most, beautiful state in the union. You have technology, you have Hollywood, you have amazing natural resources. Yet somehow these lefties have found a way to almost completely ruin it.
Yeah.
And gas is expensive there because of all the regulations, all the rules about the blends. You're talking about the oil that they use to refine, that they have to bring it in, but then they want to make it, cleaner than clean. It's not even, something that you need to do. Our oil here in the United States is very clean. The technology is bringing us cleaner oil, but I don't feel bad for these politicians at all. This is, this is what you asked for, and now you have it, and now you.
Yeah, there we go. So these guys aren't really talking about everything that's going on in California, but they are. Wonder if I can change the file name. Paste. No, it's not changing the file name for me. Oh well. We'll do it later. But yeah, they've got what they wanted. They don't want oil production in California. They want the electric cars, but their grid can't handle the electric cars because the infrastructure can't handle the load. I mean, when they first started pushing this and they were trying to mandate everybody had electric cars, the grid in California caught the forest fire around, caught the forests or the trees or the wild areas on fire right around San Francisco and San Leandro, or I don't know, whatever over there. But that whole air empire over there around San Francisco, Oakland, and all them, the grid caught on fire because they plugged too many electric cars in. But they never learned anything. They blamed PG&E and they sued PG&E because of it happening, and then they don't learn from their mistakes. I mean, they got forced by the trucking industry to have oil for trucks, but they're doing all kinds of stupid stuff. That's this story's a little older. I think I held on to this one for a while because I wanted to talk about it. Yeah, this was 4 months ago. So the facts are the percentages and the companies that were leaving for the oil companies, because they showed Chevron and Valero and Texaco. Those ones are going, but not only are they closing their refineries, they are also closing their gas stations. Now I know Starbucks left. Looks like In-N-Out Burgers starting to leave because they're slowly closing stores that are getting robbed, and they're closing stores in areas that got high crime rates, and they're going to slowly start closing stores. I know in the LA area and San Francisco and Sacramento, the grocery stores have started closing up, and I just heard from an announcement that Amazon was closing a bunch of fresh market stores, grocery stores in California. So I mean, there's no police there. There's no anything. If you police for yourself, the police will arrest you instead of the criminal, even if it is in your own store trying to protect your stuff. It's kind of crazy what's going on in California, but they deserve what they get. I even heard that Walt Disney, the weirdest company in the world, the feminist organization, is also moving their park out of California and their corporate office to Nevada, Vegas area, which would be good for the area in Vegas, bad for California and the tourism. And then the movie industry, except for Netflix and a few of them, are filming elsewhere, and some of them moved their corporate offices out of California because of the billionaire tax. And then Of course, billionaires are fleeing the state. They just had a protest in San Francisco, but they're still going to flee the state. And things are going crazy over there. So I don't know how people should get through all that, but the higher things go, if you're not retired and working class in California, you're not a feminist, and you don't like what's going on, vote with your feet. Get yourself a U-Haul, pack up, move to Texas. Apparently there's lots of work with Tesla and all these big companies that used to be in California. Even Amazon warehouse over there got bigger over in Texas. You go there, you have a job, and you have, all kinds of access to better services than you did in California and less taxes, so you'd actually be making more money. Well, some people are going to stay until the place burns down from the government. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you subscribe and like and all that stupid stuff. Maybe we're talking to the wrong horse. Maybe I'm beating the wrong thing, but, California's dead. Anyway, talk to you later. Be safe, take care, and we'll catch you with the next video.